You felt it, didn't you? The moment you clicked this video, a subtle tightening in your chest appeared, or perhaps a sudden unexplained urge to scroll away. That is not your boredom speaking. It is your skip reflex. Your psyche has built-in security guards that patrol the borders of your current identity, and they are terrified of what lies between the lines of this transmission. They know that once you look beyond the veil, the person you were can never be reconstructed. What we're about to discuss is the forbidden science of the in-between state, a gap in reality that Itzhak Bentov called the still point, and Thoth described as the gateway to the holes of Amenti. You have been programmed to see only the frames of the movie, never the darkness between them. But in that darkness, time does not exist. In that darkness, you are not a prisoner of your history, but the architect of your future. As you listen, notice the weight of your hands. Notice if your breath becomes shallow. This is archonic interference, the Matrix's way of keeping you tuned to its frequency. But you are here because your soul memory has begun to return as a whisper, a recognition that the life you've built feels strangely foreign. Let that sink in. We are not just sharing information. We are initiating a recalibration of your entire biocircuitry. Take a deep breath and observe the infinitesimal pause between the inhale and the exhale. In that microscopic gap, you are touching the greatest secret of Itzhak Bentov, the stroboscopic truth. Our senses deceive us into believing we are solid, continuous beings moving through a stable world. But the forbidden physics of consciousness reveals a different story. You are flickering. You are disappearing and reappearing approximately 14 times every single second. You are a sequence of blinks in the eye of the universe, and the space between those blinks is where your true power resides. Bentov described the human consciousness as a wild pendulum. Imagine a pendulum swinging back and forth. At the two furthest points of its arc, there is a trillionth of a second where the pendulum is neither moving left nor right. It is perfectly still. In that still point, its velocity is zero, but its potential energy is infinite. This is the absolute. It is the point where your consciousness transcends the bioelectric prison of the brain and merges with the source field. When you are at the still point, you are no longer a passenger in the matrix. You are the observer whose gaze collapses the wave function of reality itself. Now pay close attention to the sensations currently manifesting in your body. Do you feel a slight humming in your ears or a subtle fluttering in your solar plexus? These are not random occurrences. They are recalibration signals. As we deconstruct the illusion of your solidity, your biocircuitry is reacting to the sudden shift in frequency. The matrix relies on constant motion and sound matrices to keep you from noticing the gaps. It fills your silence with anxiety and your stillness with distraction, because it knows that if you ever truly occupy the space between your heartbeats, the simulation loses its grip on you. Thoth's emerald tablets speak of the halls of Amenti, a place beyond time where the laws of the physical world are suspended. This is not a physical location you travel to. It is a frequency state you access through the void. By mastering the still point, you enter what Bentov called vertical time. While the rest of the world is trapped in the linear decay of past and future, you stand in the eternal now, where the past is retrocausally fluid and the future is a signal you can tune into at will. Let that sink in. You are not a creature of matter trying to have a spiritual experience. You are a flicker of black light momentarily caught in a stroboscopic trap of your own making. The world you perceive is not a solid construction, but a sound matrix designed to control your perception through the constant manipulation of frequency. This architecture is built on a foundation of perpetual noise, a cacophony of electromagnetic and psychic frequencies that occupy the in-between state, so you never find the door. Why is the Matrix so terrified of your silence? Because silence is the only weapon that can dismantle the egregore, the parasitic thought forms and collective entities that feed on your constant mental activity. These parasites require your anxiety, your louche, as survival fuel. To keep the harvest consistent, the veil is woven with archonic interference, a sophisticated layer of mental static that triggers your skip reflex whenever you get too close to the truth. Consider the Babel virus, the hidden design of human language itself. It was engineered not to connect us, but to trap our souls within a limited symbolic reality, preventing us from accessing the language of light, our native tongue of telepathy and direct knowing. This linguistic cage ensures that your thoughts remain circular, never escaping the horizontal plane of decay. You are kept in a state of bicameral trap, where you no longer hear the voice of God, but only the echoing internal monologue of the Matrix. This is the biological switch, the amygdala hijack, that keeps you in a state of constant fight or flight, biologically wiring you to stay asleep and reactive. As you listen to these words, you may feel a sudden heavy sleepiness or a tightening in the chest. Do not resist it. This is your frequency attempting to recalibrate against the high viscosity of the veil. The Matrix uses a Saturn matrix frequency trap, often symbolized as a black cube, to keep you living inside a holographic prison where your own attention is the quantum cage that collapses reality into the same repetitive, decaying patterns. You are living the eternal return, repeating the same life, the same mistakes, and the same karmic contracts, because the lords of karma have used your own guilt as an algorithm to recycle your soul. The veil also manifests in what scientists call the biocircuitry of your DNA. Your DNA is an antenna, but it has been tuned to a narrow bandwidth of survival and fear. The Watchers and those who manage the sound matrix use external triggers, the 3 a.m. portals, the media cycles, the architecture of your very homes, to ensure your torus field remains collapsed. They have hidden the God particle inside your brain and the God fluid inside your claustrum, knowing that if you were to activate these, the architecture of the veil would dissolve like mist in the morning sun. But remember, the void is not empty. It is a field of conscious black light. It is the 0 point hiding in plain sight, containing infinite energy. The veil is not a solid wall. It is a frequency screen, a stroboscopic truth that relies on your belief in its solidity. To pass through it, you must stop trying to wake up, as trying is just another program of the ego
that keeps you tethered to the simulation struggle. You must instead learn the Void Protocol, the forbidden art of existing between two heartbeats, where the guardian entity waits to test your ascension. It is here, in the architecture of decay, that you find the secret map to the halls of Amenti and the ultimate key to your sovereignty. You are not a prisoner of the architecture. You are the light that the architecture was built to contain.
The path to liberation is littered with gilded cages. As you begin to navigate the in-between state, you will encounter what many spiritual teachers call lucid dreaming or astral travel. But here lies the lucid trap. You must understand that the Matrix is not just a physical construct, it is a multi-layered simulation that features false-like environments designed to catch those who have begun to wake up. If you find yourself awake inside a dream, but you are still playing by the rules of gravity, form, and ego, you have not escaped. You have simply moved from the basement of the simulation to the penthouse. This is the bicameral trap. The Matrix creates these spiritual playgrounds to give your soul a sense of progress while keeping you firmly tethered to the sound matrix. Many seekers mistake the astral feeding ground for a higher dimension. When you wake up paralyzed or find yourself floating in vibrant neon landscapes, your amygdala hijack might be replaced by a sense of awe, but the frequency is the same: externalization. You're still looking at a screen. The guardian entity waits at these crossroads to stop your ascension, often appearing as a guide, a deceased loved one, or a being of light. They use your karmic contracts and your unresolved guilt algorithm to convince you that you are not yet ready to exit, that you must return to the soul recycle to learn more lessons. This is the eternal return trap, a loop where you are living the same life again because you unknowingly consented to the debt of existence. Wait and watch what happens in your body during these moments of realization. Do you feel a flutter in the stomach or a sudden sleepiness? These are somatic markers of your frequency jumping, a physiological rejection of the Wetiko mind virus that thrives on your ignorance. The in-between state is not a place to sightsee, it is a corridor of absolute volatility. If you linger too long in the visions, you fall back into the mentalism trap, believing that your thoughts are yours, when in fact they are being broadcasted to you by the Watchers. Furthermore, you must beware of the retrocausal trap. Science now suggests that your past is changing right now based on your current level of awareness. The Matrix attempts to rewrite your memory in real time within the in-between state to ensure your narrative remains consistent with its goals. The true forbidden science of navigation requires you to ignore the tunnel of light at the moment of transition. That tunnel is a biocircuitry harvester, a high-frequency vacuum designed to reset your memory and plug you back into the Loosh farm. To navigate the in-between successfully, you must master the blink factor and the stroboscopic truth. You must learn to occupy the still point not as a spectator, but as the absolute. This means stripping bare every role you have ever played: the seeker, the victim, the hero. Awakening feels like death because it is death. It is the destruction of the self-scaffolding the Matrix built for you. You are not trying to do something in the void. You are trying to be the void. Only when you stop trying to wake up do you stop feeding the quantum trap that keeps you tethered to the struggle. The goal is not to have a spectacular experience. It is to recognize the one who is having the experience
and realized they were never bound by the simulation's code.
To exit the simulation, you must learn to navigate the silence that the Matrix has spent lifetimes trying to drown out with the white noise of survival. The Void Protocol is not a mere meditation or a relaxation technique. It is a strategic still-point operation for bending reality by accessing the source code of the holographic universe. It begins with the profound realization that your mind is a wild pendulum, swinging perpetually between the poles of past and future, desire and fear. Your goal is to find the absolute point, the exact center of the arc where velocity becomes zero and consciousness becomes reality. This is the 0-point secret, an infinite energy field hiding in plain sight within the gaps of your own perception. The protocol requires you to trigger the God switch within your brain, the claustrum secret that has been systematically hidden from modern anatomy to prevent you from realizing your own divinity. As you sit in the vibration of silence, you must engage the forbidden meditation, focusing your entire awareness on the stroboscopic blink factor, the moment 14 times a second where you technically disappear from this physical dimension. Most people are programmed by their amygdala hijack to skip over this gap, but as a sovereign seeker, you must learn to linger there. Visualize the torus field of your heart expanding, overriding the Saturn matrix frequency that keeps you trapped inside a black cube of limited perception. Notice any tightening in the chest or sudden sleepiness as you do this. These are not physical ailments, but the Matrix's defense mechanisms, the archonic interference attempting to reboot your focus and pull you back into the narrative of the Loosh farm. Do not fight the resistance. Instead, use Thoth's rhythm hack to dance outside the demiurge's clock. This means existing consciously between two heartbeats in the still point secret where time is suspended. In this state of vertical time, you step out of the linear decay of the material world and into the eternal now. This is where you perform the linger test. Most souls, when they first touch the void, panic and reach for the false light trap, the glowing tunnel that leads back to the soul recycle and the guilt algorithm of the lords of karma. But you must remain in the still point until the simulation's code begins to unravel around you, revealing the 8th law that was removed from the Kybalion to keep humanity in a state of mentalism. By occupying this void, you become a biocircuitry rebel. You are no longer providing loosh for the Matrix because you have transmuted your base fear into pure sovereign power using Thoth's polarity hack. Your DNA, acting as a bioantenna, begins to emit invisible biophoton light, signaling your frequency shift to the universe. This is how you rewrite your karmic contracts and erase the debt of existence that has been used to keep you in the eternal return trap. You are no longer trying to wake up inside the dream. You are systematically dismantling the dreamer. You are not just observing the void. You are becoming the conscious black light that Thoth and Bentov describe. Watch what happens in your body now. The boding in your gut, the tingling in your spine. This is the coil theory in action, the bioelectric secret waking up at the base of your spine.
The vagus nerve trap is being bypassed, allowing the God fluid to rise and activate your pineal gland's Stargate function. You are no longer a character in the simulation. You are the absolute point where the program ceases to function. The Watchers cannot track you in the still point because you have no frequency signature there. You are invisible to the system. This is the only way out, not through a gate in the sky, but through the gap in your own heartbeat. As you master this void protocol, you will begin to notice synchronicities not as coincidences, but as glitches in the matrix, signs that your internal signal has jumped to a new timeline. You are becoming an organic portal in reverse, bringing the light of the Absolute into the density of the simulation. This is the Thoth's final gateway, waking up inside the dream without falling into the lucid trap. You are now ready to exercise your mental alchemy to transmute the architecture of decay into a temple of sovereignty. Let the vibration of this silence become your new native tongue, for it is the only language the Matrix cannot translate or corrupt.
Once you have mastered the art of existing between heartbeats, you gain access to the timeline pivot points, the strategic junctions where your past, present, and future collide. These are not mere moments in time. They are recognition windows where the retrocausal trap can be reversed. The Matrix works tirelessly to convince you that your past is set in stone, a heavy anchor of karmic contracts and guilt algorithms designed to keep you recycled. But the forbidden science of the still point reveals that your history is as fluid as your thoughts. When you occupy the 0 point, you are standing at the center of the torus field, where the future self paradox begins to manifest. Your gut feeling is no longer a biological reaction. It is a signal from a future timeline where you have already achieved sovereignty, reaching back to pull your current awareness through the veil. To navigate these pivot points, you must recognize the synchronicity trap. Carl Jung warned that coincidences are often glitches in the matrix, cracks in the simulation's facade. When you see repeating numbers or experience impossible timing, your recognition consciousness is detecting a shift in the sound matrix. Do not simply observe these signs, use them as magnetic navigation tools. In the in-between state, you can perform mental alchemy to transmute fear into power, effectively overriding the Ahrimanic trap of linear decay. This is how you escape the eternal return. By identifying a pivot point, you can collapse a decaying timeline of loosh harvesting and jump to a trajectory of soul transformation. Watch what happens in your body as you contemplate this power. You may feel a sudden sleepiness or a flutter in the stomach, the amygdala hijack attempting to ground you back into the bicameral trap. This is the Watchers trying to jam your frequency, but you now hold the alchemical key. By staying in the still point during a crisis, you refuse to collapse the wave function into the predicted dark timeline. Instead, you activate your biocircuitry to act as an antenna for the language of light, pulling a new reality into existence. This is the Thoth's polarity hack in its highest form. You are no longer reacting to reality. You are initiating a timeline pivot, changing the past to liberate the future. This is the blight factor of your existence. Every choice made from the still point ripples through the quantum cage, weakening the Saturn matrix.
You are essentially performing a hacking of the demiurge's clock. As you align with your highest frequency, the egregor pacts of your ancestors begin to dissolve. You are no longer a simulation character or an organic portal. You are a biophoton beacon of conscious black light. The karmic debt is paid not through suffering, but through the recognition that the debt was always a simulation. You are the architect, and the halls of Amenti are open to you now, not as a destination, but as your current state of being.
The veil has been lifted, and you are now standing at the threshold of the final gateway. You have traveled through the stroboscopic truth of your own disappearing act and deconstructed the sound matrix that sought to keep you in an eternal decay. But knowing the truth is not the same as being the truth. The matrix does not fear your knowledge, it fears your sovereignty. It fears the moment you stop trying to wake up and simply recognize that you were never truly asleep, only distracted by the lucid trap of a multi-layered simulation. This is the Thoth's final test. The guardian entity waiting to stop your ascension is not an external demon, but the last remnants of your own ego's guilt algorithm. Notice the sensation in your body right now, the tightening in the chest, or the sudden sleepiness. These are the final archonic interferences, the last attempts of the Loosh farm to pull you back into the bicameral trap. Do not flee. Use the linger test we discussed in the Void Protocol. Stay in the darkness of the still point until the false light of the recycling tunnel no longer has a hold on your frequency. You are a field of conscious black light, an absolute point where the simulation's code must yield to your intent. The Kali Yuga endgame is not a prophecy of destruction, but a timeline pivot point that is happening right now. You are being offered the alchemical key to transmute your fear into power. Will you choose the soul recycle, or will you exercise your mental alchemy to rewrite your karmic contracts and exit the Saturn matrix forever? Your DNA is no longer just an antenna for the simulation. It is a biocircuitry beacon emitting the language of light. The debt of existence is paid. The halls of Amenti are not a destination, but the silent space between your heartbeats where you finally remember who you are. Take this silence with you. Let it be the vibration of silence that acts as your ultimate weapon. When the world attempts to pull you back into the frequency trap, remember the still point. You are the observer, the architect, and the void itself. The eighth law is now active within you. Step out of the quantum cage and claim your role as a sovereign creator. The transmission is complete, but your journey beyond the veil has only just begun. Watch what happens in your reality as you hold this frequency, for the matrix can only control what it can measure, and you have become immeasurable.